Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. We did it. We made it through another volatile week in the markets. Hopefully everybody still has their wits about them. And as always, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It's May 21st, 2021. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So yesterday we saw another sort of gap up and go structure inside of the SPY. I say another because we have seen this before in recent history, where the market was able to essentially recover from a downside move. We saw support roughly at the 50-period moving average on the daily, and then the subsequent days, some sort of bullish uptick, and then a gap up structure roughly in between the trading range that we're currently working in. So the SPY overall is throwing a lot of mixed signals throughout certain intraday periods. We're seeing things start to show potential for another sector rotation synopsis and thesis moving forward. And we'll get into some of that today. But overall, the SPY is trying to hold its footing. We do have this, I would say, shorter term trend line, which is starting to showcase itself as the more dominant area of support. This is going to be our second test of this area, with the first one setting the actual trend. And then we have a more longer term trend, which has not yet been tested yet, but has been acting as maybe a lower area of support if we were to break down through these previous double bottoms. We saw a nice follow through over the past couple of sessions. We're trading above all of our dynamic resistance turn support at this time on the 4-hour time frame. And we were also able to clear our downtrend line, which is actually showcasing additional strength during the pre-market as we're attempting to now clear what was a double top and led to a volatile downstroke to test the trend line. So overall, SPY is starting to show maybe some signs of life, a little bit of a recovery bounce at this point. We're still well within our trading range, so we do need to be aware that resistance still looms above us. But all of the shorter term signals of holding previous support, holding trend, getting through certain mid-range levels, and even starting to test the upper part of the trading range, these are all relatively bullish signs. I would say that there is some opportunity in the short term to come back and test what was previous all-time high and what was previous, I would say, like mid-trade range before we started to break down in the SPY. When we look at yesterday's session, we look at what caused some of the strength, and it's undoubtedly indicative of a little bit of rotation back into technology. We did see the QQQs have a nice trending day after a gap up in the pre-market. They are starting to clear what was previous resistance, which was that 325 area. We know that this double bottom as well was a false support. It actually led to basically a gap up looking as if that was the low, and then it broke through, causing us to have a lower trading range. Seeing us clear this area and specifically close above it is a good sign that this lower trading range is starting to solidify. And now we can move into the upper trading range, which is the one that failed on the first attempt. We can see on our 4-hour, the structure here, predominantly bullish. We see the bulls were well in control yesterday. They led to breaking this downtrend line, getting through things like previous resistance and previous double bottom resistance. And so far, so good. We have a lot of open air structure here. to allow the bulls to kind of maybe potentially move this market a bit higher. We'll come into some other notable spots that have reacted in the past, and basically just assess if this is going to be our new trading range moving forward. So at this point, we're essentially looking at closing off this trading range. We're hoping that the bulls can hold at this point, and we will instead be looking somewhere within here with this area as a potential target for this upswing move. So obviously lots of lines, lots of areas of interest. This is normal in a more distributive market where there's not a clear uptrend or downtrend. There's no clear winner and loser in the bull or bear camp. But what we're trying to see is short term, are there key levels that this market is trying to facilitate in a short-term direction and a thrust to move us through range to range. So far, I would say that the bulls have proven themselves on this structure at the lower end, and now they need to prove it once again inside of the mid-trading range before we get into the upper. So we have 3 ranges to consider on the Qs, and the SPY has about roughly 2 with some volatile downswings in between. Finally, the IWM. Daily structure still is quite indecisive. We did see a little bit of that, I would say, bullish momentum carry over into the IWM. But you'll also note that unlike the SPY and unlike the Qs, the IWM really didn't do a lot of proving in yesterday's session. It may have simply just caught some of that upswing bid that was seen in some of the technology sector and also the healthcare sector. When we look at our 4-hour, we see that there is potential for this structure to start to break out. We did set a swing low, and this could potentially be our higher low to get us out of this area of volatility. But so far, you know, there's still quite a bit of proving left to do. We still have the 200 period moving average on the 4-hour to act as resistance. And from there, we'll simply be looking at previous areas of supply where this market has reacted and started to drop precipitously. I would say most notably this 226.25. This was a spot that proved as a false breakout, very similar to the Qs, and that led to a very significant drop. So before claiming anything or sort of claiming victory for the bulls here, the IWM has quite a bit left to prove. There are trading ranges in between, and ultimately we'll want to see if things start to swing back into the small caps favor, or if this is once again just a sort of weak rally that leads into another test of that trend line low. So we know that yesterday we saw a lot of momentum and strength inside of technology. So XLK stood out as sort of the leader yesterday. We also saw a bit of a bid inside of healthcare. So nice trending structure, holding the 20 period moving average on the daily, and so far coming very close to test the previous all-time high. This is notable because all of our index products are struggling to catch themselves at these low-end supports, whereas some of our sectors are actually very close to, if not approaching, their all-time high. So this is notable. We want to keep this on watch because it shows leadership versus a laggard approach or even a weakening approach in certain sectors, and whether or not they're going to potentially have more upside potential. So healthcare stands out. Technology certainly had a strong bid yesterday, but still has proving to do in the short term. And if I can find it, consumer staples standing out as well, very close to its previous all-time high. And we can see that this sector overall doesn't really have a lot of concern in regards to the overall trend. Yes, a lot of things have been trending for a long time, but based on yesterday's price action, this one had some of the strongest price range, and the volume was notable. Some things that stood out as well on a strong day in the SPY, and specifically as we look at things like the Dow is in this lower trading range after a false breakout. It is trying to essentially remain as one of the leaders, but some of the key sectors inside of the Dow, I would say industrials stands out. Not really seeing much of a strong move to the upside yesterday, more of indecision and sitting below the 20 period. XLF, one of our notable leader sectors, not really seeing that same strength yesterday. And actually volume was significant on this indecision day. So a break of this could easily lead to momentum in either direction. And XLB materials, once again, one of our previous strong sectors, but not seeing that same strength return on a strong market. So this kind of keys us in that, yes, maybe there is some rotation occurring during this short-term time frame. We see that tech, staples, healthcare, they stood out as some of the leaders. Even discretionaries seeing a bit of a better upswing day versus some of the other sectors that we often keep on watch. And then more specifically, I'm looking to see, are there risk off sectors? We already talked about consumer staples, but things like utilities. Some of these sectors have been consolidating for quite a while. And I would say that utilities is on the verge of something a little bit larger if it can start to clear this channel structure. Most people will sort of recognize this pattern as a potential bull flag, where we have low to high, we have consolidation over price, and this potential breakout not only has a lot of upper upswing potential, but if this is truly a bull flag, we could see extension of this much, much higher. So just drawing simple extensions. We want to go from low to high, move this here, and the potential can be quite significant. So just solely based on pattern structure, the breakout here has a lot of potential. We do have this previous all-time high in utilities, and overall this sector has been moving up quite strongly in the past. This consolidation can easily break bullish, break us through the previous swing high, and lead us to all-time high or higher. That's obviously a risk-off sector getting stronger, and we want to take note of that in the context of a market that has been struggling in recent weeks. So quite a few things to keep watch on. I would say that if you're looking for patterns and structures to break out, start to look at these strong sectors getting stronger. Whether they be risk off or risk on is typically, I would say, not irrelevant, but you definitely want to put your focus in the right places if you are a bull. And if you're a bear, you're looking for some of these weaker sectors to fail to prove to the bulls that they're going to continue higher. So you're looking for false breakouts. You're looking for a lot of these support structures to start to fail, and overall more downside in our weaker sectors. Additionally, you can look at these sectors that have been strong but are actually struggling near their highs, and start to look for these to break down with some more conservative targets. Things like the 50 period moving average is a key one. XLF, XLI, which has pretty much already hit that target. And even things like energy, which is struggling to catch itself on the 20 period. We've seen a lot of chop and just overall indecision in this area. And that's notable because on the weekly time frame, this has been an area in the past that has acted as support. We're having a hard time getting through it. And we also have this balance zone here, which has acted as a trading range. We cannot get above this trading range so far. So, overall, the key is here's where we are. Here's our trading range. We could easily go from high to low once again. But structure of the short term is that we do have a nice upper thrust. We've consolidated and broken out, just like our bull flag and utilities. So now we need to see, okay, are they going to truly break higher, or is this a trading range for the next week, couple of weeks, months, etc.? Overall, there's still opportunity in both directions. So, given that it is Friday, we want to see, are there some opportunities in sectors and candidates that we can start to take advantage of amidst a triple witching day? So Friday, option expiry, rolling of larger series option contracts into the next month or quarterly series. There are some stocks that are standing out. There are some stocks that are standing out in regards to some key items that we can look at, some key stocks that may be in play. I would say one that's of interest is Tesla. What we saw in recent past is we had a support zone that broke but had no follow through. So this is so far a false breakdown. We also see that there is a key trading range here. This is just a very short-term area of interest sitting right at the 200. Now, if you look at it on the daily, you see candle structures, you see highs and lows. But as you dig in, you can see the potential for, and I actually see this already in the pre-market. We can see potential for some sort of head and shoulders, where obviously we have a neckline that has yet to be broken. We have this shoulder structure, a head that failed to break lower, and then a strong move to test this line. I would say that this move is a bit extended given where we are. It could certainly pull back in and then break out much more strongly. But overall, this is starting to build a structure here that is tradable. And we can use this area as both defining our risk and also looking for targets. Things like the daily trend line is sort of that first target that Tesla did break down from in previous sessions. Some other ones that stand out, Apple finally starting to clear this downtrend after earnings. We saw a nice downswing after earnings, coming to the 200, forming that double bottom support. So we know where our risk is defined. And we also saw that on yesterday's bullish thrust, we got a breakout of this trend line. So you can either take that as your signal and define your risk much lower against the 200, or you can wait for your pullback and essentially a test of this trend line to confirm that, yes, we are moving higher. Obviously, short term, there is a guide here. If Apple were to land in this area, you could have a much tighter risk defined at these lows and look for more upside if tech is to be rotated back into. And then finally, one that I find worth mentioning is Nvidia. We've talked about how semiconductors as a whole are still in a distributive pattern, but similar to a lot of our tech plays, we've gotten clear risk definition on double bottom support. We've got a trend line break on yesterday's bullish price action. And the only issue with Nvidia at this time is we are coming into a previous, I'll say, buying climax high. So this set our trading range. It has been in, I would say, in play for quite a while. We've seen reactions off of it. We've seen failed breakouts and tests above. So this is an upper test that failed, led to a significant downswing. And so far, Nvidia has been trying to clear this area and failing. Now, this is the first time Nvidia has come into the midpoint of the trading range and held. So if they truly are going to break out in this stock, this is where it needs to happen. If it can't, this upper thrust, this breakout buying climax overall remains as resistance, and I would look for more downside at this point. This basically is a proving ground for the bulls to hold. We've held 200 period moving average multiple times in the past amidst all this volatility, and so far this is the first real opportunity for this downstroke to essentially clear this climax and really start to get momentum to the upside. And yeah, I realize that, Norm, it's not triple witching day. I apologize for stating that. It is option expiration Friday, but not triple witching. For some reason, I thought it was. It is the third Friday of the month. So there are a few more additional series that are going to be closing, but it is not triple witching. All right, so we have a couple of candidates in our large tech names. We know that tech was the leader yesterday. We also know that healthcare was standing out. So maybe just looking at some of our healthcare names, things like UNH, things like J&J, just trying to find ones that have nice structure, continuing the uptrend, and overall leading to breakouts of previous all-time highs. And then we have our utility as sort of our risk-off candidate with things like SO and maybe even things like NEE, which did see a nice gap up and follow through with some of the solar and growth names yesterday. It's a very generic trend line, but I'll say that it is trying to break out. So looking at some questions, could you talk about how the option pricing impact on RIDE's price action today? RIDE certainly has a strong bounce in play. It also has earnings coming up, so be very cautious initiating swing positions into earnings. Know what your risk parameters look like. Without looking too deep at the option chain, I would say that technically we're just looking for this bounce to hold in some sort of higher low structure. But keep in mind that this stock has been beaten down quite a bit, so the downside momentum can easily pick back up. We have hit the 50 period, and overall, let's look at our options here. Today's options, highly elevated implied volatility. Be very, very careful buying elevated IV, as you typically are in a position that it is very challenging to get, I would say, the premium reward for buying elevated IV without some sort of selling structure. And we're looking at volume and open interest. We see that 15 has some significant OI. There's definitely a lot of calls sitting at 15. There's sort of a general amount of supply sitting pretty much from 9 all the way to 13. It does drop off after 13, so there's basically a void in the options here. And similarly on the put side, there's a void in the puts above, but there's plenty of demand down here. So, or sorry, supply. Yeah, not really seeing anything key except for this 15. Everything else seems pretty balanced. A lot of interest at the 10 as well, which is psychologically relevant. So, how do you like mRNA? Let's look at mRNA. mRNA definitely looking more distributive overall. We're seeing large upswings from the lows, large downswings from the highs. Certainly trying to catch itself here, and actually was able to hold prior to some of the bullish nature from yesterday's price action. So there is potential here, but look at the declining interest and volume. I would say that there's definitely the potential for bears to step back in. They saw this nice move down from earnings, and so far the bulls have really not shown much interest afterwards. So they held support areas, but overall the volume has not really stepped back in. So I would say nominal at this point, more intraday than anything, but obviously not really seeing much on the larger time frame. A little bit of a gap up today. Be cautious of this getting sold into with the lack of volume overall. Let's see, XBI. So general structure is that XBI certainly trying to catch its footing. We do have a significant swing high that the market did react off of. Volume has picked up in this area, but is already starting to drop off on the move higher. So XBI still has a lot of proving to do. What you're looking at more at this point is just the weekly. There is this bullish pin bar showing the definition of support. Obviously don't want to lose the previous lows. And then on the monthly, similar. We still have yet to come and test the 20 period on the monthly, which does bring me to a little bit of concern. But you can see how we're already starting to get back into this upper trading range on the monthly. So overall, there is potential here, but not anywhere near the all-time high. We have a lot of proving left to do on this bounce, and this could easily consolidate over the period of months to years at this point. You know, the downside is way too significant to really see just a giant change in trend. There has to be a lot of consolidation in between. Just checking YouTube chat. So I see SQ. SQ saw a little bit of the bid from the Bitcoin capitulation. I would say this kind of looks similar to Tesla. There is an attempt here to hold the 200 period moving average. We see the weekly is coming back to support. But these are all in the context of a market that really hasn't done much in a long time. We see just how wide this trading range is, and we see a lot of distribution here because overall these upswings, these buying climaxes and secondary tests so far have been met with selling. So overall, just be cautious in these areas. You're at the right spot in the chart, but you have not seen the right reaction in the past based off of it. So your upside is relatively limited, and you need to have more conservative targets along with being able to stop out if the structures fail, because the downside can be significant. JD, been selling off for quite a while. Definitely a lack of interest in certain growth sectors in other countries. We did see an upper bid yesterday. Nice gap up. This is after earnings as well, which is notable. So I would say short term, there could potentially be some momentum returning. We're seeing the volume pick back up. This gap up is notable. Most people look at gaps as something that the market needs to fill. But in the short term, the gap is showing the market essentially stating that where we are and where we gapped to is a change. It's the market trying to basically move away from a previous value area and doing it in a very aggressive manner. So usually these gap ups, if they are actually bought, and we see a sort of gap and go structure, we can use this as sort of a key guide and allow for the market to either break the first day away from the gap or pull back into the gap and maybe look to buy the gap fill. So either way, let's look at JD on the short time frame, already starting to move a bit higher. So yeah, there's definitely some bullish structure here, a little bit of proving to do on the downtrend, and we've seen the 200 period fail multiple times on the 4-hour, once, twice. This is the third attempt. So just know that if it does fail, your downside is significant. So obviously you want to be risk defined in all of these setups, because you're essentially trying to catch a change in trend. And just like any other change in trend, they can fail multiple times before really getting the follow through. But it does look good. I mean, a lot of these downtrends are starting to break. Doesn't mean it has to continue from this point. Could easily back test, but it's something to keep on watch. So with that said, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. Obviously, Friday, keep your wits about you. We'll see maybe some oscillations with certain pinning activity in options. And overall, we'll look at the market next week and really see how things are starting to evolve, with tech showing as potential rotated sector. We'll see if this continues or if it's just a one-day event. So take it easy, trade safe, and we'll talk more next week.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. I am just putting myself together here because I just sneezed, like it just took my life away for a second there. So Norm, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm all right, buddy. Good morning.
Good
How are
morning. Good
you?
morning.
Get yourself together before we
Oh
do this last
man.
show of the week. And
Yes.
everybody over on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up, hit the like for Jared.
Let's absolutely do that, guys. So happy Friday, everyone. Let's get into it. We had a pretty okay day yesterday. Some chops, some stuff that traded very well. Let's take a look at them now. Here's BTC, by the way. This is what's hot at the moment. Yesterday didn't do a whole lot. We didn't get the madness we've been getting the last couple of days. Look how wide. Let's get our epic pen in here to make notations. But look how wide some of these candles have been on Bitcoin. We're not getting that. We didn't get that yesterday, but still in stuff that we should keep in mind, as we know this is going to affect a lot of the stocks that were on our ticker yesterday. You see it here, how wide that was, and obviously the madness 2 days ago. And then just yesterday, not a whole lot going on. We also had Mrna on deck. If we bring that in here, Mrna, it was okay. Again, we didn't move a whole lot at the beginning of the market open. It did give you this beautiful drop here in the bounce, but that's really about it. There was some other plays that were a lot better. Plug was pretty nice, guys. Gave you this beautiful pop here. Got rejected at this level and then comes back down below the high of the pre-market 2840. That's a great sign. You don't want to take it right away. You just want to wait around and see what it's going to do next. And I'm not showing you guys my 5-minute. Excuse me. I have it on a different chart. Here we go. This is our 5-minute. Let's bring that in right over here. Thank you, Puppet Master on YouTube, for pointing that out, and also some here in the chat. So here, great rejection off this level, back below the high of the pre-market, and then just look at the slam down here. Once it gets below the VWAP, that becomes interesting. Couple of times try to get above that, it couldn't, and then here you see the slam down below the low of the day at that time. That's a beautiful, beautiful play here. Almost a reverse ABCD pattern. Actually, a reverse ABCD pattern right on there. So that's pretty nice. Later in the day, it does continue to drop down, does come back and retests the VWAP here around 11:30, and then just continues to sell off even further down to this level that we had, 2668 off the daily. So again, plug pretty nice yesterday. Some really good moves there. Here we have a Space. Space has been very active the last couple of days. Yesterday I had another pop right to the high of the pre-market. From there, great rejection coming right down. You want to wait for it, for confirmation. Here's your confirmation. It cannot come and make a new high in the next 5 minutes, and then it just slams down to the next level that we had, 2006. So right to that, and then gives you a beautiful continuation. A great area to take a partial. Just kind of see where things are going to go from there. They continue. You take more on the way down there. So that's pretty good. AMD was a little choppy yesterday. Didn't give you a whole lot starting out, but if you're looking at a longer time frame or bigger time frame, you would have seen this kind of higher lows happening here towards 11, and then kind of finding a new area of support and consolidation right on here before it started trading really nice. After this, guys, it trades really nice, holding on to this 9 moving average and this 20. But again, you have to get past this area here. On AMD. Apple was amazing, probably one of the best stocks yesterday, guys. This thing just took off. It was getting pretty active right before the bell, like many stocks did. But if you notice, though, once we looked at, they all just came up here to their high of their pre-market, and then they sold off. Apple did complete opposite. It came up here, broke through the high of the pre-market, and never really looked back, guys. Beautiful ABCD patterns after ABCD patterns, holding on to this 9 moving average nicely. Once you get to extend it, right, you do come down and test the 20 a little bit. That's your breaking point. If it cannot hold the 20, you want to jump out of this. It this tested a couple of times, but then continued to just crush it. So again, Apple was amazing yesterday. Hopefully you took advantage of that. Kohl's was also very good. We talked about Kohl's being a great trade when it has earnings or any type of catalyst, and we saw that yesterday, guys. Again, beautiful pre-market activity, very active. And then just look at the sell-off here. Nice continuation towards the bottom, the low of the pre-market. You do get some consolidation happening here, and then another drop. And that's pretty much it. You're not going to get a whole day like Apple on the coast, but you will get a move like this one after the market opened. That was pretty nice of Coast to do that there. So better than the day before, better than yesterday. Still not great, but we are definitely getting some better action. Let's see what we got this Friday for the overall market as we end the trading week.
Yeah, I'm not going to rehash what Jared already went through, obviously, but we had a nice bounce day yesterday. We held the 50 on the daily, and it bounced nicely from it. That 404, 405 level proved a support for the time being, at least. Today we've got flash PMIs out at 945, existing home sales at 10. There is options expiration for the month today as well. So I'm going to tell you something. I've been through this gappers list, and I've been through every NASDAQ active gainers, losers, and listed as well. So NYSE, I have not found a single ticker yet that I want to trade.
Yeah. It's one of those days, and it happens, So
yeah, something will pop up, and but today is need to be patient for sure. We can get going through this list, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yep. Let's go through it. Let's find out what we have here. So right into our gappers list this morning, guys. Let's start with what's gapping up. I'm gonna remove some of the stuff we have here. Let's get rid of this there, and we'll make some new rows. New row over here, and we'll throw that right on there. So let's see what we got. Small list today compared to what we're used to seeing. A couple of low flows leading the way here on the green side. Let's take a look at ANVS. This one this morning. What do we have going on? Let's move over to the side. This one got some stuff going on. 31% up this morning.
So the reason I say this on this, look at the spread. It keeps going. The spread at times is going to $2.
I see
it's not at the moment.
Not at the moment. It's only 20 cents.
But when I was pulling this up, it was 20 cents for a little bit, and then it was dropping. If you take those couple hundred orders out, sitting right where you're where you are, now you're almost $1 right there. You're so that looks like a death trap to me.
Yeah, this one, guys, is not your regular low flow type stock that is in play today. And if you notice, part of the reason of this horrible spread is just look at the volume, guys. Only 300,000 shares. You don't have enough volume
for something like that. That looks enticing, and it's got a nice move. But I looked at it, and I was like, this looks interesting. And then I finally saw the spread, and I was like, wow, that's 32.55 to 34.15 right there.
Right.
So be careful of that one.
And very important, guys, again, be careful with these zeros here. That could be somebody literally with 10 shares, right? So when you see those zeros there, I would just completely
It's
avoid
meaningless.
it and just go down to the next area here. Here, actually, you sometimes get full
Yeah.
lots only, so you can
Yep.
look right on here, right? You got 32.75 and 33.50, which again, that is not great. So again, guys, going back to the volume, 300,000 shares traded, going from 26 to 36, right? You're moving with no volume here. Yes, you're putting in some really good candles. Once you start looking under the hood here, it doesn't look great at all. So we're going to skip on this one. Yalla, 35 million.
This is also the morning of tickers I've never heard of before.
yeah, you're absolutely right. We got a few here besides the last three. Yalla and Mox C are next. Yalla here, 35 million shares traded. At the moment, pre-market action, 501,000 shares traded. What am I seeing here? So we have an okay pre-market action on this one. Daily's a little bit funky. They don't trade a whole lot of volume today already. They're trading pretty good size for what they do on a regular basis. Daily though, guys, is not pretty. We'll put it here as a possible. I'm hoping that this is a possible for today, not something that we're going to put on our main list, hoping that we can find something that looks a little bit better than that. Here's Mox C this morning, and this just looks brutal. Pre-market action up 7.8. That's a nice number. 226,000 shares traded. That's just not enough for a stock sitting at 16 million shares. Their daily has been insane over the last couple of days. So you might be thinking, oh, this is good. This is great. But if you're looking at the way we trade, right, the way we intraday trade, this might not be trading all that well. So just kind of looking
once
here
again, you've got a 35 or 40 cent spread sitting on a $15, $16 stock. That's suicide.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's just not great, guys. So again, I'm going to skip on this one so far. Nothing that looks exciting here. Nothing to see. Let's go down to Space. Space this morning, they are up 3.5 right now. So this one could be good. 986.
This is the best of the worst that I've seen so far, but it sure does look choppy to me. We'll see how it performs today. It was nice yesterday.
Yep. I agree. Great volume turn, being pushed around here. It gapped up nicely yesterday on some news. We'll get rid of some of these levels because we do have our highs and lows now coming into play here nicely. Let's see what it does. Right now, 998 up 3.5. Here's Mrna and Riot, both not moving as great as they were the last couple of days. We'll remove some levels here to clean this chart up. Not a whole lot going on Mrna, and Riot is probably going to be the same. Yes, same thing here. So nothing happening. I am going to put Mrna as a possible just because that sector obviously has been hot and very active, and I'm not talking about hot in a good way, just a lot of movement happening there. Let's see if this Friday we're going to get anything going for Mrna this morning. Gappers list on the way down now. We're looking at Ride. Ride is a great daily on Ride. Not a great pre-market action. Norm, you was not kidding on this list today. Ride is not looking all that good pre-market wise. But again, probably the best of the worst. ONTX. Ooh, brutal, guys. So again, here, I just don't know what's happening. This is horrible. It's down 4.1. Look at the pre-market action. This is just not doing a whole lot this morning. We'll skip on that. U1, 6.1 million shares flow. This one has got a decent pre-market
activity. That's the best one there, but I've got no shares for short. It looks weak as hell. So what am I going to do?
Yeah, it looks good, but we are limited on what we could do. You had a big day yesterday. Let's take a look at that. Nice pre-market action. It's funny, we didn't see this one yesterday. I don't think nobody called it out. I didn't catch it. But this one is had a beautiful pre-market action. A slow start here, as you can see. That's expected after such a beautiful move in the pre-market. And then around, oh no, this is after hours. Excuse me. No wonder I didn't see this. I'm looking at this wrong. My mistake. Oh, okay. This is why we didn't see it. This was the pre-market action, which was non-existent. And then this was the beautiful play yesterday.
I'm sure it came in on the scanners yesterday.
No wonder. See, this move was so big. I'm thinking this is actually the market open. This is after hours. This is after hours right on here. So, wow. All right. So, this could be interesting, guys. Could be interesting. Let's put U1 on there, and let's see what's going on that one.
Just note that 6 million share float.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We got to bring this actually to our risky pile. That is a good call there. Norm, we'll put that here. U1, we'll put it down in our risky side because it is a very low flow stock there. All right, slim pickings today. Guys, we need your help. I know Norm has nothing he likes, so I'm going to go straight to the chat room. What do you guys like this morning? We know we're going to watch Apple. I know that's going to be on my list. Apple has been very, very nice, and the way this market has been trading, Apple is a good indicator of things. We'll keep an eye on that one. Trying to think of a few that have traded well that we can keep an eye on. Taking a look at our chat room here, we're going to start with D Miles. D Miles is just saying let's have a great weekend. Good. Myro is giving us AT&T. What do we have here? AT&T is up 1.5. Again, I think the fun might be over with AT&T. We had a couple of really good days here. Outside of that, we had I think it was this day here, the 17 and the 18. Then outside of that, it really hasn't done much, guys. So again, I'm not sure how much great trading we have out of AT&T on a day like today. They can afford to be as a possible this morning. Yeah, they have great volume right now, 1.4, but AT&T trades a lot of volume, so I don't give them too much credit for that 1.4. That's not trading very clean. We're coming off of some days, guys, trading 156, 247, 120, and 90, right? So it's 1.4 for them. It's nothing the way they're looking right now. So we'll see how it goes. We'll have it as a possible. Let's look at Nvidia this morning. This is another good one to watch. I have Apple for the entire type tech plays here, unless Nvidia has anything specific. I'm not seeing anything great besides, again, them just moving with the market. But I like Apple for those type of trades. And you saw how clean Apple was yesterday. Nvidia did the same thing here. You did get a nice little move. It's just Apple is easier to trade. If you compare this chart to Apple's, you're going to see that Apple looks a little bit better. So if they have any specific catalysts, then we can look at them. But Apple will be my tech type company to take a look at this morning. CCL, I like their daily. I don't think they don't have much going on as far as volume at the moment. I saw somebody else throw American Airlines. Yeah, pretty dead right now, guys. Just no volume on these travel companies at the moment. Let's look at Tesla. Yeah, Tesla is definitely in play, guys. Tesla has been moving around quite a bit this morning. 610, 1.7. You can see here finding finally some support at 553. This stock has been, just taking a bit of a hit over the last couple of months here since February. Is this when we topped out, right? 880. Just look at the drop we've been getting back down to that 550 area. And now getting a little bit of a bounce here. So Tesla is good. I do like Tesla this morning. We'll keep an eye on that. Is NIO doing anything fun? NIO is not doing a whole lot. I do like this daily on NIO, though. You see that? That's a nice daily, but their volume is just weak right now. But let's be on the lookout. On a day like today, this could be a possible. That could be a possible. So thank you for that one. PRPO. Let's take a look at that. No, I don't like the way this looks right now. Dailies, by the way, not great. Pre-market action is horrible. You are getting 400,000 shares traded, but that's not trading very well. And the few times that we looked at this ticker, we had one huge day here. The few times that we looked at this one, it has not traded well, guys. So I'm not a fan of this one. 17.2 million shares flow. It's also on the lower side. So be very, very careful. NIO's day looks good. Yeah, I agree 100%. Facebook, let's take a look there. Not doing a whole lot, but we could keep an eye on Facebook. That could be interesting today as volume comes into it. CCL, you guys like CCL, huh? Let's look at CCL one more time. Did I miss something here? Let's take a look. I mean, their daily looks good, but their volume is not great right now. Is anything going on with CCL besides the daily possible breakout? Because aside from the daily possible breakout, we do have a few that have an amazing daily like that.
I mean, people are starting to open cruising, and there were some announcements last night, I believe.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing a whole lot there myself.
Yeah. Besides a good daily, guys, which again, some of these do have possible breakout. But we know this ticker, and I'm hopefully some of you guys, Mark, you guys will watch it and call it out if you see something. We'll be on the lookout for that. Here is Plug. Let's take a look at that one. Plug has been okay right now. Pre-market action is pretty quiet. See, here's another one that's similar to CCL and probably has a better chance of moving with the market the way things been. You also got this very similar daily, right? You've been slammed down. You're coming up against this area of resistance, possible breakout. If we can get going, got some good levels here. We can test 29 and 30 very easily from 27 price target. That is a good move on this type of stock. So again, we're going to have a lot like that, but the pre-market action is not looking all that good at the moment. PRPO, we looked at low flow. That's not looking
Plug
great.
Doesn't have nearly, I mean, look at I know you've got the 5 and the 1 day, but
yeah,
you're not seeing the whole picture on Plug. Pull up the 1 minute.
Let's get the 1 minute in here. Oh, yeah. It's just, it's nothing happening here, guys. It's brutal.
You're having like 1,000 shares a minute maybe traded. That's brutal. Yeah, something goes against you, your host.
Yeah.
Can't manage risk like that.
It is not in play, guys. Again, can it get better later? I think it can.
And I like trading Plug. I'm sure it'll have more volume at the open, obviously. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I can't commit to put that on my
Yeah.
list.
I agree, and there's a lot like that, guys. I feel the same way about CCL. You know, they got a great daily, they can trade well, but it's just the volume is not quite there. All right, so let's look at BA. A couple of you guys throwing that one out. Okay, this one's got it's just started here with some action at 8:30. We need to give it a little more time.
It's
Their
one of
daily,
the
yeah,
better looking tickers I see. It usually doesn't have great pre-market volume, so I
yeah.
won't hold that against it.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely it has a catalyst with some 737 Max news that just came out a few minutes ago. But have to wait for the market to open to know for sure on this one.
Yeah, I do like the daily as well, guys. Slamming up against an area of great support and resistance over the last couple of days at 231. So yeah, this looks good. We added that one on there to our main list as well. All right, we'll do a few more here. PA and W. Not much going on there. Very choppy. This is a stock that's very hard to trade though. This is a very, very difficult stock. The volume is very light, guys. I mean, just be very, very careful. Spread is horrible on this 365 to 360, 230.
It's a very, very
Yeah.
difficult stock to day trade.
Yep. I think we looked at that before. We actually never put it on the list because the way it just trades horrible.
Average
AMC,
daily volume is 1.1 million shares.
yeah, the $300 something stock. I mean, and moving between a couple of bucks that fast, that means the spread is going to be horrible. Your price action is going to be out of whack. It's just not worth trading something like that. At least the way we trade, we need that movement, we need that liquidity, and we need that great spread. AMC this morning, guys, only 509. Their daily looks interesting. Outside of that, I'm not seeing a whole lot. I do like this pop here. I do like the drop here, coming back to this $12, a great area of support and resistance. We see that plenty of times here on the chart. We're slightly above that, so that could be interesting. At the moment, I'm not seeing anything great. This is a good one for the scanners to look at. If you have space today, definitely put it on your list. I agree, possible continuation. Space, CCL, we looked at space. We do have probably one of the better ones looking this morning. Viacom today, they are, again, just continuing to just move sideways here. Not a whole lot going on. At the moment, 252,000 shares traded. I believe, again, it's just my own opinion, this thing is going to come back eventually. But again, it just might not be today. So as far as intraday trading, I don't see anything great. BEKE, what's going on here? No, I don't like this one. Again, no volume right now, guys. Yes, the daily looks like it wants to break out of this, but it's been trying to do that for a couple of times here. Without a catalyst, without volume, I think it's going to be very difficult for them to have a nice breakout here on this specific stock, especially when they on a regular basis do not get great volume and they do not trade very well. So be mindful of that one. U1 is, yeah, we do have U1 here as a low flow stock. We don't have, shares for short now. It's probably very little though. Probably very, very little. Yeah.
You have 4 shares.
300 shares. Should we take them? Should we take 300 shares now? Yeah, so very, very
And
little.
they're gone.
And they're gone. Yeah. Just like that. So, so again, you basically have no shares for short there. All right, guys, that is what we have. Let's stop here. Let's look over at our friends on YouTube and see what's going on there. Guys, what do you guys like this morning? We'll start with Leon. You're giving us Airbnb. I personally do not like to intraday trade this one. Pre-market action right now doesn't look good. Only 60,000 shares traded. Their daily's just been getting slammed, man. Look at this here. Incredible. The last couple of weeks is kind of coming down to 130 from 180 from 220. Their all-time high looks like it's in this area somewhere. No, I don't like the way this one looks, guys. Not for today. AMD we do have on deck, right? AMD. I thought we looked at AMD, didn't we? Oh no, we did not.
I mean, this is one of those days when you got to have an AMD on there just to trade the market. AMD,
Yeah.
Apple.
Yeah, exactly. AMD, Apple, those are going to get the
Sorry,
volume.
I'm sorry I can't
know?
be more exciting for your Friday, guys.
Yes.
Have some fun leading you into the weekend. I guess we could start doing shots right now. They should kick in by the end of the show.
Absolutely. We'll get Brian to join us with the tequila shots there. Here's a SQ up 1.5, 100.
I'll go grab my Clase Azul.
105.
My wife will be pissed.
She would be this early this morning. Is she working and you're drinking? Yeah, that never goes well. SQ 1.5, 105, and again, just the volume, guys. Again, similar situation like everything else, slamming down here, consolidating, possible breakout, but everything looks like this if it has been following the SPY, right? So, or the Qs. Nothing great there. In this one, in this case, is the Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has the same situation. as we have there. All right, a few more here. Let's see if we have anything that looks exciting. JZ XN. No. This is not good. Recent IPO looks like, and no, this is not great right now. So we'll skip on that one for the moment. And it's okay, guys. I know we know it's a lot of stuff that does not look great.
We're digging. We're trying.
We're digging. Yeah.
So throw it out there. We'll take anything at this point, right?
We're grinding away. See what we find here. MetX. This is more of a penny stock. Just slamming down almost below $1 here. And it's just a horrible daily, guys. So
no
be
shorts,
careful with this.
Penny stock.
This is not a good one. Piton. What's going on with Piton today? Again, similar situation to everything else. Getting a lot of, again, we had the bounce back here. We're getting a lot of stuff bouncing back. Pre-market actions non-existent right now. Piton tends to do that though, and it can trade very well. Guys, today we had to keep the eye on the SPY and the overall market because there's nothing that looks good. I think if we're going to get some kind of great movement, if the SPY is going to be strong here and we start testing these 420s, 422, then we're going to start looking at Apple, Tesla, Facebook. AMD, BA has a great daily. That's going to be interesting. We start looking at these ones that we've been looking at for a long time that have been moving with the market. If we get a strong SPY, we could have a really nice day. But there's really nothing else here that has its own catalyst that's moving on its own besides BA, which is starting to look very good, guys. BA is definitely in play this morning. Keep an eye on the overall market, and you have to be very patient today. You have to take your time. Got to take your time. If you're used to coming in here and just swinging away and hitting something, which it happens on great days, just swing away, you're gonna catch something. Today, you have a good pitcher here. He's not playing with these curveballs and all of that, so you want to be very picky on what you swing at today. And take your time. Today could be a day where you just might not even go up to bat and just say, we're gonna call it a week and start enjoying the weekend early, right? So be very mindful of that. All right, let's stop there. Let's go over to our community events, and we'll come back and do something with this list. We'll do something. I don't know what.
Hang in there, guys. We'll find something.
We'll
just got to be patient. All right, guys. Andrew's 2-part webinar series is up and posted. Go check that out when you get a chance. And next Tuesday, 8 p.m., we'll have Thor talking about how he uses volume price analysis and ranges to avoid getting chopped up in choppy price action. That'll be next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Then also Nada's webinar is posted. Next week, we'll have a Dr. Katz town hall that'll have 2 traders from the community. They may be special members from the community. And they will be next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday. They'll do a psych analysis with Dr. Katz. It'll be open. Everybody can sit in and watch and ask questions and such. We are all special. I'm not only the not the president, but I'm not only the mod, but I'm also a member. Let's see here. BBT member trade of the day. If you would like to participate in this, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day. Of course, have entries and exits on it, but then put any commentary you can to describe the trade. Mark it up and post it on Twitter, tagging at Bearable Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family. Day trading and stock market will announce the winner each afternoon on Twitter, and then all the trades of the day will be voted on by the team over the weekend, and the trade of the week will be announced the next Monday. If you're watching on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, use the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days, unless there's a market holiday, which we have one coming up here fairly soon. And doesn't auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. It'll also give you access to the live onboarding classes and technology classes that we do every Monday night. If you're looking to either become an elite member or upgrade your membership, use the code MEMORIAL40 to get 40% off the annual elite membership.
All right. Thank you very much, Norm. Just answering a question there in our chat room, and let's get to it, guys. So a couple of ones being mentioned here. Norm, you have something?
We got Baba over on TradingView.
That's exactly where I was going to go. Baba from TradingView. So thank you guys for tuning in over on TradingView. Highly appreciate it. I'm not sure there's a like button there, but if there is, we highly appreciate if you hit that as well. Here is Baba. Baba right now. Yeah, again, great daily right now. You are getting a little bit of a bounce here like many stocks are. Now, Baba is similar to BA. Their pre-market action is not great. So this can take off. Maybe a good possible for today. It's got some good volume, but aside from that, not a whole lot at the moment. But again, their pre-market action looks very decent right now compared to everything else that we have. All right, let's take a look here. Anything else, guys? I saw another one too on there. Someone mentioned ONTX. Yes, ONTX. Let's take a look. We got a couple of minutes here. ONTX. I think we looked at this one. ONTX. Take a look here. Oh, no. This is no. Don't send me that. No. Wazim, just kidding. We did look at this one. This is more of a buyout. I don't know what's going on, but this is just horrible. And if we look at how they trade, they don't get a lot of movement. Look at their volume too. I know they got some crazy volume down there, but it's not a whole lot neither. You're getting a lot, but it's not doing any movement. More of a penny stock.
That's a reverse stock. That's a reverse stock split, brother.
Oh yes,
that's trash.
This is completely trash. And we got to get at the little icon here, the emoji of a trash can. But yeah, that's not gonna work there. All right, there it is, guys. Let's do some levels for what we have. This list again, it can change. OM Nvidia. What's going on with Nvidia? Oh,
piquing my interest. It's like
OMG going on. There we go.
They do.
We got something going on. All right, our Friday's just.
What's the news here?
What is going on? Nvidia looks good, guys, this morning.
Stock split. All right. There we go.
They're,
it'll be fun to. It'll be a little easier to trade like it used to when it was back down in that price range again.
Yes. Some of these stocks, man, when they go up above 200, 250, they become very, very difficult to trade. It's just the price action changes a little bit. Nvidia is definitely in play. We added that to our list. Let's go through this, guys. We have Space. Space is good this morning. We've been having some good action there. Nice gap up yesterday. Some good trading in the intraday, in the pre-market, and also in the intraday after the market open. Rise got some potential. I do like their daily. Pre-market action is so. Apple is a good one. We're definitely watching that one. Tesla is great. Definitely in play right now. Or not in play, but at least moving. 673 up 1.3. Facebook is more of a possible, guys. Facebook, let's see what's the other one. Facebook. BA is good, is moving well. AMD, again, these are all more of a, let's see what the market does, and then we'll see if you guys are doing anything that we can take advantage of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, way too many. Let's take Facebook out of here. What do we have? Nvidia is definitely coming up now. BA is looking decent. Again, BA, if you know BA, they don't put in a great pre-market action, but this looks interesting. Tesla is good. Okay, yeah, I think we have a decent list. Let's do some levels for this. And then AMD, Facebook, Baba is moving. Yala, Mrna. These are all okay. T, Neo. Yeah, we'll fine-tune this a little bit more.
I just took a short on Nvidia for $3 and made my day.
Very, very nice, Norm. Sweet. So great play there, Norm. That's amazing, man. Amazing. Let's do space here. Let's do a space. Let's get some levels ready for you guys. So here we go. High of the pre-market on SPSE. Oh, stop scrolling. There we go. It's going to be 2097. That's your high of your pre-market, and pretty much you're set. Highs and lows here are doing an amazing job. Previous day close. We can mark down our low of our pre-market. It's going to be down here at 2021. That is a good one there. That was also pretty close to some resistance we got yesterday. Didn't quite get to it, but you can see here it was having a tough time before the bell and also after hours. It did get right to it before closing out for the day. So that was pretty nice. Outside of that, guys, highs and lows are doing an amazing job. If we were to come back up here, which is not looking too strong right now, let's find a level of resistance. Clearly, this is one. And the reason this is a great level of resistance, 23.56. Just look how that is forming there, right? You got the price action coming up, changing direction. You got a couple of days opening and closing right around that level. You definitely want to have that on your list if this thing breaks out. And then in between here, you got some other ones as well with a couple of touches. They're not as great as that 23.50, but you can mark down here. This is going to be 22.43. So another level there as well. A couple of touches, some days opening and closing right around that area there. All right, here's Ride, guys. So again, Ride, I like the daily on Ride. Possible continuation today towards the downside or even a bounce, right? Because we're holding on to this level here quite nicely at 902. It's not at the low of the pre-market. The low of the pre-market is a little bit higher, right? It's at 916. So right over, where's the low of the pre-market? Is that right? 916 doesn't make sense, right? This is the low of the pre-market should be 903. Is anybody having that same issue as well? It should be
What's that?
903 for
What?
Ride, the low of the pre-market for Ride. Why is it getting 916 here? All right, I'm not sure what that's happening, but this is the level that you want to have on Ride right there. 903 at 903 is
I don't
more
know,
like
brother.
it.
I see what you're talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, right. This is weird. So we'll do 903. That's what I'm seeing there on the chart. Sometimes this thing goes off a whack here. It's 902,
It's
903.
the only thing I would say is that happened really early. It was trading very low
Mm-hmm.
volume at the time. It's possible maybe when it traded that low, it was less than 100 shares that went through. It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah,
But anyway,
be. Yeah, strange for sure. So that's right there. Outside of that, guys, the high of the pre-market is sitting at 935. So they got that right there, 935. Above that, previous day close and highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Towards the bottom, guys, we're putting in 845. That's a good one there. Over here, another great level, 796, in case we do start dropping from the price action right now. Here's Apple. Apple's not looking great, guys, but I do love the daily on it, and I do like to watch this one if the market's going to do anything fun today for us this Friday. You saw how great it traded yesterday. Possible continuation, guys, if we can get above. This is a great level of support and resistance right on here, guys. You can see the support happening here. That flips over, becomes now resistance. You can see the beautiful touches on this. Let's see if we can get a breakout here. Let's see if we can get that going. It is going to need the market's help to do that. Level above that, 129.38, and slightly above that, we do have a good one here at 131.21. As well. So plenty of levels towards the top for Apple and plenty towards the bottom with the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Here is Tesla. Tesla at the moment, high of the pre-market, 604.58. Above that, we do have a 619. So 2 pretty good levels so far there. Towards the bottom, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, guys. Previous day close, you're pretty much taken care of there. We have another level here towards the top here, 628 as well. So we'll see what Tesla does today, guys. Volume is good. It's got some good movement. We've seen better pre-market action from Tesla. Let's see if they can continue moving well here. Here's BA. I love BA's daily, guys. You see the great area of support and resistance we're getting there. We're gapping up nicely above that here. Last time we pushed up against this area of resistance. You can see here we slammed right back down. You see that? We're at it again one more time. Let's see if this time we can break out of this. High of the pre-market, 232.71. They have a catalyst with a positive catalyst on their aircrafts there. So hopefully that can give them a nice push today. And if the SPY can help it, that's always a good thing here. Slightly above that, we do have 236.76. Another great level right on there, guys. Area of resistance. And then slightly above that, 241.05. And then towards the bottom, as we just discussed, this is highs and lows from the last 2 trading days and previous day close. Nvidia is trading really nice right now. Norm is done with that one for his day. Beautiful breakdown here.
It wasn't a huge trade. Don't get me wrong, but it'll satisfy my urge to trade since I probably as this list that we have.
It's not looking too good.
I can justify taking the rest of the day away from trading if I decide to. Let's put it that way.
Yes, it makes your decision a lot easier when you start looking through this list. Here we go, 626.38 towards the top, guys. Great level of resistance right on there. That's a nice one. And all the way up here at 647. Nvidia doing a great move, guys. This thing went from 590 to 605, 610. Now kind of getting a possible continuation here. Is very, very extended, guys. Be very, very
It's very extended, and that's a funky catalyst. A stock split is essentially meaningless.
Yeah.
What you've got, and part of my thesis, somebody asked why. I mean, it's kind of a garbage catalyst, to be frank. It means nothing. If you have a stock split 4-to-1 at $100, then the next day, after the split actually takes place, if you had 1 share at 100, you've got 4 at 25. You haven't changed anything.
Right,
it's like when you cut a sandwich in half, and a little kid thinks they have more sandwich. You have the same exact thing. So I figured there would be a pullback. That's why I took that trade once it topped out at 610 and it worked out. But It could continue. The people are thinking back to last summer when we had Tesla and Apple announced splits, and that 3-week period of time from the announcement to when the actual split happened, they ran like crazy. This is not the same market.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. The value of the company is not changing. I love that. We're gonna have to hold that. We're gonna have to make a shirt out of that one. If you know, if you take a sandwich, split it in four, it's still the same.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. Love it, guys. All right, Nvidia is good, guys. Definitely in play. Let's see where this madness takes us today. Pop up of 4% right now is not doing anything, and only 500,000 shares traded right now. That is good volume for Nvidia. Our possibles today, we have AMD. Not doing a whole lot. Facebook, we have Baba, which actually looks pretty good for their pre-market action this morning. We have Yalla on here, great pre-market action. Let's just make sure Yalla is not a low flow stock. No,
35 million.
35, so that's good. So it's got a great pre-market action. Their daily's not great, so we have it as a possible just to keep an eye on it. Mrna, of course, if Bitcoin can get going here and do something, that could be fun. AT&T is just pushing volume around, guys. I just don't know how good it's going to trade. This thing is 1.9, almost 2 million right now, up 1%. Had a pretty good couple of days in here. We'll have to see. And then I have Neo here just in case something happens there. But the great thing that we have here is our community. So you guys, if you're watching, what was that?
It's light volume.
Yeah, it's too light. That's why I have it as a possible. But we have you guys in the community. So if you see something, say something so we can all look at it and hopefully take advantage, because today's going to be one of those days, as we mentioned before, you got to be very, very patient. Looking forward to see what our moderators list looks like today, because this is one of those interesting type days. So let's bring our visuals over here, guys. Let's see what our moderators are doing this morning. As I'm doing that, guys, if you're over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. We highly appreciate it. It does help us out a lot. And also subscribe if it's your first time here. We are live every Monday through Friday when the market is open. Here is our list for today, starting with Peter. Surprisingly, no IPOs for this Friday. Tiffany's looking at space, Nvidia, and Tesla. Dima is looking at space, Mrna, Neo, and Apple. Jared is watching Tesla, BA, Nvidia, and maybe some BTC type plays. We do have Mrna on deck this morning as well. Eamon is looking at QS, XBEV, Workhorse, a secondary list, CCL, OSTK, and JD. Peter's list, AMD, Nvidia, Apple, Space, secondary list, BA, Tesla, and CCL this morning. John is looking at Nvidia, Tesla, and BA, all looking pretty good this morning as far as their daily. They look very nice, so I would expect John will be looking at those for possible breakouts. All right, excellent, guys. That is what we have. We have a couple of minutes here. We can go through our list one more time while we wait for Brian and Andrew to get set up to go live in a couple of minutes. I should be getting their watches in a second to see what those guys are watching as well. Let's take a look here. So we have Space. Again, great volume, not a great pre-market action. Let's see if they can get going. We have Ride, which is it's okay. I like their daily, but their pre-market action this is more of a possible, really, if I start looking at it a bit closely. It's more of a possible. I don't think it doesn't deserve to be on our main list. So let's get rid of that. Apple is on here, guys. Doesn't look good right now, but we know it can be very explosive. We had a couple of really nice days on Apple in here, guys. Yesterday was amazing. Probably one of the best trading stocks in the intraday. Just took off and never really looked back. Just ABCD pattern after ABCD pattern. So that was a lot of fun. Tesla is very active. BA continues to hang around this pre-market high. That's a great area of resistance and support for this stock, as we spoke earlier. Let's see if we can break out of that. And then here we have Nvidia, this 690. Let's see. I'm with you, Norm. I don't know how much room this thing is going to have to push higher here, but the volume is being pushed around. That should be fun. And then we have our possibles list. Ride, AMD.
Yeah, it's in play. I mean, it's definitely put it in play.
Yeah,
we'll see what it does.
We'll see what it does there. And yeah,
gave us more than we had previously.
that is correct. 100%. All right, folks, that is what we have. Guys, thank you so much on YouTube for joining us this morning. We highly appreciate it. Also on TradingView, we're going to continue here in our community, in our chat room. Brian and Norma up next to talk about what they like this morning, what they'll be watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, guys. It does help us a lot here in our community, so we highly appreciate it. And subscribe if you have not done so already. It is Friday, guys, so that means you need to be patient, especially this Friday. This Friday, things are not looking too pretty right now. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't look great, so your patience needs to be at an all-time high, guys, okay? You might not be able to swing at things the way you were swinging at it throughout the week. We had a lot of movement. Keep an eye on the SPY. Let's see what the SPY is doing and if it's going to start pushing some things around for us. Let's take advantage of that. If that does happen, look at your regular tickers, your Apples, your AMD, your Facebook, even Twitter at times can move if the market is moving well. So take advantage of those stocks that can move well with the market. So guys, trade safe over on YouTube. We got a few coming in here, Brian.
I want to say one thing real quick, and yeah, you can. So Brian's watch list: Nvidia, LAZR, and TAL. Plus, he's going to be watching the scanners. Somebody, MB up here, what made me look at Nvidia this morning? So I had not looked at Nvidia. This is the power of a chat room.
Yes.
When you have as many eyes as you have in here, somebody's going to have Nvidia on a chart somewhere. Somebody's going to see that move fast. That person, all they said is "Wow, Nvidia" in all caps. I thought, okay, I'll take a look. So I had Nvidia somewhere down there, pulled it up, and sure as heck, it had just started flying like within a minute or so, or not even 60 seconds previous to that. Watched it for a few seconds, decided on the trade, took action, and traded it. So that is the answer to that. That is why it's big reason why it's important to have a community.
You have to be part of a community, guys. It's not if yes or no. You have.
Doesn't even have to be this one. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, you
but
have to.
Trading by yourself is lonely, first of all, and then you have a lot of help from people. I can't listen to Squawk right now. Somebody said maybe it came across on Squawk and they caught it that way, watched it in video. Well, I can't do that. So it's the importance of community, guys.
Right. Absolutely, guys. So big part of that. Folks, take care over YouTube and TradingView. See you guys next week on Monday. Have an amazing weekend. Trade safe and have a good one, guys. Take care.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.